Hey guys, it's Steven from Smith BMW. I'm the product specialist and I'm here to go over some of the new features of the BMW 3 Series. Located on the driver's door card of the new 3 Series, we have our unlock and lock switches, as well as our door release and our memory seat function. On the door card itself, we also have our window switches, our mirror fold in button right here. So if I press that, the mirrors will go ahead and fold in for you. And then if I press that once more, they'll go ahead and fold out once again. We also have our side mirror switches right here for adjusting those. And on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our light controls. So our automatic function is selected now, so our lights will turn on and off automatically according to weather conditions and time of day. And we also have the ability to turn off our lights completely. We have our two parking lights for either side of the vehicle located right here, as well as our daytime running light button here and our headlight button right here as well. Over to the right, we also have our dial to adjust the brightness of the instrument cluster at night. And below the light switches, we do have a storage compartment right here as well. And to the left bottom of the driver's door, we also have our trunk release button right here. So if I pull up, that'll go ahead and open the trunk for you from inside the vehicle. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our cruise control functions. So we have our cruise control activation button right here. So if I want to activate cruise control, just press this once. Once I'm up to my desired speed, I can go ahead and set that speed with this button right here on the left. And then I can go ahead and adjust the desired speed in increments of 1 and 5 miles per hour by pressing up, and then decreasing the speed by pressing down. If I cancel the cruise control, I can go ahead and resume it with this button, and also I can cancel it with this button right here. If I am in a zone where I know I need to set a certain speed limit, I can go ahead and set that speed limit with this button right here. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our media controls. So we have our volume up and down buttons for the stereo. We also have our seat track buttons right here. And then we also have our telephone button right here. And if I have an incoming call, I can go ahead and answer the phone by pressing it. And then I'm in an active call, hang up on the person by pressing once more. This is our media selection button. So if you're on the road and you don't want to take your eyes off the road, I can press this once and you'll see that our media is displayed in here. So we have all of our media selections right here. So if I want to scroll through different media selections, I can go ahead and use this rotary wheel right here, and that will select different media selections. Once I want to select a different media selection, so if I want to go into Sirius XM, for example, once I'm hovered over that, I can go ahead and press in on this rotary wheel, and now I can go into Sirius XM channels and browse those as well. And to get out of this menu, you can press this once more, and then you will be out of the media selection menu. Next to that, we have our personal assistant button right here. So if I go ahead and press that, you can activate Hello BMW, which is your personal assistant. For example, I can use a personal assistant to control the climate controls. I'm hot.
No problem. I'm lowering the temperature, so it will be more comfortable shortly.
On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, our windshield wiper stock is located over here, and our auto feature is enabled by pressing up once. The windshield wipers will flash up once, letting you know that's activated, and you'll see the green light letting you know that auto feature is activated. This will detect the amount of rain and will adjust the speed of the wipers accordingly. Down here we have our climate controls as well as our preset keys. So we have our max defroster for the front windshield as well as our rear defroster. We have our automatic climate zone button right here, as well as our temperature controls for the driver. We also have our direction of air travel button right here, which will adjust the flow of air to the driver's side. Our fan speed button is located right here, as well as our passenger side air travel button right here as well. So that will adjust the flow of air on the passenger side. Our temperature control is located here as well for the passenger side, and our air recirculation button, our AC menu button, and our max AC button are located on the passenger side as well. The menu AC button, if I go ahead and press that, that'll bring up an extra menu for our AC. So on the iDrive screen, you'll see this menu pop up, and you can go ahead and adjust the air quality as well as synchronize the two climate zones. I can synchronize with the two climate zones by pressing the synchronize tab right here, it'll go ahead and check off synchronize, and then you will notice that both zones are synced. In the back seats of the new 3 Series, we have our temperature controls located in the center stack right here. We have our automatic climate control button right here, our temperature controls, as well as our AC off button and our direction of airflow button as well. Below that we have our 2 USB-C ports for charging, as well as a 12-volt outlet for charging as well. If I wanted to save a certain selection to one of the preset keys located here, I can go ahead and make a selection. So if I want to save a certain radio station, I'll go into the iDrive and I will select Sirius XM, for example, and then I will select Fox News, just for example. Once I have that selected, I will go to my desired memory key, go ahead and press and hold, and then you'll get the tone letting you know that it's saved to that memory key. Next to our memory keys, we also have our volume knob for our stereo volume, as well as our mode and band buttons for the stereo. If I press mode, that you'll notice that it will bring up our media selection menu so I can select my different radio stations. And if I press band, I will go ahead and switch in between my different media stations. So I go from AM to FM to satellite radio. Located in the center control stack of the new 3 Series, we do have a couple storage options. We have 2 cup holders located here, as well as a 12-volt power outlet and a USB plug as well right here. We also have our wireless charging pad located in the back behind the cup holders. Located in the center console storage area of the new 3 Series, we do have ample storage space, as well as a USB-C power outlet. Located above the rear view mirror of the new 3 Series, we do have our power sunroof located right here, our switch for that. So if I go ahead and push all the way back, I can go ahead and open the sunshade for our moonroof, and then I can go ahead and press all the way back once more, and that will open the glass as well. If I want to go ahead and close the glass, I can press all the way forward once, and that will go ahead and close the glass for me. And I can go ahead and close that power sunshade as well by pressing forward once more, and that will close it. Located in the center console of the new 3 Series, we do have several settings we can toggle on and off with physical buttons. So at the top near the shifter, we have our dynamic stability control button right here. So if I press that once, it'll turn traction to a limited state, and if I press that once more, it'll turn dynamic stability control on. Below that, we do have our park distance control button. So if I go ahead and press that, it'll go ahead and bring up our park distance control menu. So from this menu, we can actually see our rear view camera, as well as objects that are behind and in front of the vehicle. So these sensors in the front and rear of the vehicle will detect objects as they get closer and closer to the vehicle to aid you in parking as well as maneuvering. Again, to activate this, you just press this physical button with the P, and that will turn on and off the menu. Located below the park distance control button, we have our automatic start-stop feature off button. So the automatic start-stop feature is a feature that will turn off the engine when the vehicle comes to a stop, and then will turn the engine back on when the accelerator is depressed. This feature will save you fuel economy, but not everyone likes this feature, so you can toggle this feature off by pressing this button here, located below the park distance control button. Once the light is illuminated, it'll let you know that the feature is turned off. Below that, we have our engine start-stop button. So they've moved it from the right-hand side of the steering wheel down to the center control stack. Below our start-stop button, we do have our different drive mode selections. Comfort mode is going to be our standard mode. It's the most balanced drive setting, so the drive setting you're going to be in most of the time. Above that, we have our sport button. If I go ahead and press sport, you'll notice the iDrive screen changes, letting you know that you have entered sport mode. So this is for increased handling and engine response, so a little bit more thrilling of a drive. Located below comfort, we also have Eco Pro, so if I go ahead and press that, you'll notice we'll enter our Eco Pro drive mode. This is great for long distance road trips where you'll be driving at a constant speed, and this will save you gas mileage. Below our drive mode selections, we have our auto hold feature. So if I go ahead and press this, the green light illuminates saying the auto hold feature is enabled. You'll see in your instrument cluster on the right hand side that we do have auto hold symbolized that it is on. What this feature does is it goes ahead and holds the parking brake for you once the brake pedal is depressed. So if you're in traffic, you put the brake pedal on, it'll go ahead and hold that brake pedal until you press the gas. so you can take your foot off the brake when you're in traffic. Next to that, we do have our electronic parking brake. If I go ahead and pull up on the switch once, I will activate it. You'll see the red light illuminate, letting you know that the parking brake is applied, as well as a symbol in the right-hand side of the dash. If I want to go ahead and turn off the parking brake, I can go ahead and push my foot on the brake pedal and then go ahead and push down. That will deactivate the parking brake for you. In the middle, we do have our transmission selector, which allows us to switch in between gears. So if I press the button on the side here and pull all the way down, I am in drive now. If I press the button on the side and pull all the way up, I am in reverse now. So to activate your gears, you just have to press the button on the side here and pull down or up to go into reverse or drive. To select our park gear, we can go ahead and press this button located on the shifter right here. And now you will notice we are in park. And located to the right of the shifter, we do have our iDrive selection wheel right here, as well as our physical shortcut buttons for our iDrive selections. Right here we have our media, communication, home, map, and navigation shortcut buttons, as well as our connected drive app shortcut button as well. Below here we also have our back button, which will allow us to go back one previous page in the iDrive system, as well as our option page, which will bring up a different set of options in each menu item. To locate the active safety features of your new 3 Series, just press this physical button right here next to the hazards. This is your active safety feature button, so you'll notice once I press that, I will bring up my safety feature menu options. If I go to configure individual, I can actually see what options I have, and I can configure them to my liking. So it looks like I have frontal collision warning, as well as lane departure warning with steering intervention, and active blind spot detection. Steering intervention can be turned on and off, as well as the intensity of each safety setting can be toggled as well. In the new BMW 3 Series, we have our iDrive 7 located right here, and this is fully touchscreen, so I can go ahead and use the touchscreen if I would like, or I can use the iDrive controller right here, or the physical shortcut buttons located here. From our home tab, we have our selections on the left-hand side. So we have our media, communication, navigation, car, and connected drive app selections on the left-hand side that correspond with the physical buttons over here as well. So they're the same buttons and are 2 ways you can access the menu items in the iDrive system. To go back to our home page, we can go ahead and press the tab located in the top left-hand corner of the screen, or we can use the physical button located in the center control stack and press home, and you'll go home. Next, our tab we have is communication. So if I go ahead and select, our next tab is communication. So if I go ahead and press communication, I go ahead and enter my communication menu. This will store all of your contacts if you have your phone connected, as well as your recent calls and outgoing calls, and you can go ahead and manage your mobile devices from this menu as well. Back at our home screen, we have our selections on the left-hand side. Next, we have navigation. So if I go ahead and click on that, will bring us to our navigation screen where we can enter an address, set our home address, as well as view our recent destinations entered into that iDrive screen itself. We also have the option to see a full screen map. So if we go ahead and tap on the full screen map, we will bring it up and you can see your current geographic location. Back from the home screen, we do have our car tab over here on the left-hand side. We have various different settings for our car, but the most important are our settings tab right here, where we have different settings for the car itself. So we have our lighting, displays, doors and access, our key settings, a bunch of different settings that you can go ahead and personalize yourself, as well as general settings for the car, such as date and time, the language, and the sound settings as well. You can also access your vehicle status from this menu. So if I go ahead and press on vehicle status, you can go ahead and access your tire pressure monitor, your engine oil level, your check control messages for any faults, as well as your service schedule. So you can go ahead and see when your services are going to be due. Back into my car tab, I can go into this menu and access our digital owner's manual. So if I press on owner's manual, I can go ahead and search for specific things I'm looking for. So if I want to, for example, see my accessories and parts, I will go ahead and get a description of that. And what's nice about this digital owner's manual is that there will be videos included as well as pictures. So if you're a visual learner, this is a great resource for you. Back at our home screen, we do have one more tile left on the left-hand side, and that is our Connected Drive Apps tile. So if I go into this menu, I can press installed apps, and what you'll see here are all of your BMW apps that are preloaded onto the car. So you have your personal assistant, your weather app, any kind of news, and Park Mobile as well. So you'll have all of these different BMW installed apps in this menu item right here.